Hello there, Taylor with the Armageddon Report, continuing the Memorial Day Armageddon coverage, of which in the Eastern Pacific there is none apparently. No tropical cyclones at this time and not in the next 48 hours at all. However, in the eastern states, also known as the Atlantic still has subtropical storm Beryl. Now, if you did not watch yesterday, I believe the difference between a subtropical storm and a tropical storm is where the thunderstorm activity is located. So when it's on like the fringes of the storm, it's subtropical. Apparently, though, when it tightens up and your thunderstorm activity is happening towards the core of the storm, then it's a tropical storm. And I believe that the big important thing was that it's like tropical storms tend to follow certain patterns, whereas subtropical storms can be much more erratic with where they're going. However, that said, here is where the best guess of the path for Beryl is. So Beryl probably already affecting the eastern states. They are in all of the South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, the blue areas. That's where tropical storm warnings are currently in effect. And apparently going to weaken a bit to depression status and then go back on out to sea and strengthen back up. So that's Beryl, so let's move on. We're going to talk about Beryl shortly when we talk about tornadoes, but when we talk about this is the severe thunderstorm outlook for today. So we've got another moderate risk going on. It's been now like just a few days. We had a dry spell where nothing was going on nationwide. Well, not nothing, but little. Anyway, so what we've got is as high as moderate risk over here. This is new as of this outlook. This wasn't part of the slight risk, but so Pennsylvania and a smidge of New York and Ohio are now in a slight risk of their own. And then as you can see over here, the moderate risk over here is for the 45% chance of winds and hail. There's also a significant hail chance. And then there's just a 5% tornado chance, which is kind of on the lower end. It's not like a tornado outbreak type day, hopefully. Here is the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect at the moment. So we've got Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, 8 p.m. EDT. That's what's going on right at the moment. So presumably all of this stuff out here is going to kick off later in the day. So here is the wind map where you can see the moderate risk area and then your slight risk area up there. So, and then we have on the hail map, we've got several things going on. So we've got as high as a 45% chance. And if you're not familiar with the numbers, that basically means if you randomly pick like this point where my mouse is, that means there's nearly a 1 in 2 chance that that point or someone within 25 miles of them will see a severe hail event. So that would be, severe hail would be 1 inch or larger. And then in addition to that, we've got the black hatched area where it's indicative that there could be very large hail. So that'd be 2 inches or larger, so-called significant hail. So that's what the black hatched area is. So not only a pretty high risk with a 45%, but then a pretty big area where significant hail is possible. And then over here with the 5% chance, kind of looks like a sock puppet, doesn't it? Doesn't it kind of look like a sock puppet? Anyway, earlier, the most previous outlook, it was a distinct 5% up there and a 5% down there. Now they're connecting all of it. So again, with the numbers, that would mean if you randomly picked like this point in Minnesota, that means that there's a 5% chance at that point or someone within 25 miles of them will see a tornado. And then, most likely, thanks to subtropical storm Beryl, we've got South Carolina, Georgia, and a smidge of Florida with a 2% tornado chance today. Tomorrow, 3 different slight risk areas going on. So we've got all up here, all there, and up there. I was going to say down there, but you know, it's north. It needs to be up, not down. That's up, down, up. Right, moving on to this map where we can see it's basically all connected. So there's just slight risk areas, but then they all hook up. Day after tomorrow, we've got again Oklahoma, Texas, going to have a slight risk once more, and then New York in this kind of area. Let's see, here was day 2, they've got a risk up there, and then day 3 got one again, and then here's the specific, this time not connected. So 5% area surrounding that, 5% area surrounding that. That's day after tomorrow. And then day 4 through 8, predictability too low, which means there is severe thunderstorms forecast in the medium range models, but there's like not enough agreement yet as to location and or timing. So obviously something to keep an eye on. And I think I might have seen that there was a new mesoscale discussion in effect. So let's look at that. Okay, so that's basically post-severe possible this afternoon. Right, almost looks like a heart, sort of. Right, watch unlikely. That's interesting. That is a watch up there, but is there not? So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. 12:41 CDT. That would have been like really recent, and that did get a watch. Watch possible, yeah, 11:56. That one is for the watch that is in effect, wherever that tab went. So yes, basically, if you're in that area and you like to read lots of scientific stuff where you could see things like convectively induced vorticity max over southern Ontario, if that means anything to you, then you could go read that. Right, but anyway, so here's what's going on today. Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, all in the moderate risk, so obviously pay attention. Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, also in a higher than normal risk for that area. So, you know, you guys should pay attention as well. Everybody should pay attention all the time. Anyway, WikiWix is WICKEDWX.com. Weather.gov is weather.gov, right? The Storm Prediction Center. If you like hurricanes, you go on over to the National Hurricane Center. And if you are in an affected area, you should absolutely own a weather radio and make sure it actually works and is programmed, etc., etc. And stay safe out there today.